It is what many of us need to jumpstart the day. I'm talking about coffee.
Oh, every day for me. Well, whether you brew it in your kitchen or stop at a cafe, most likely your brew traveled thousands of miles to your cup. In tonight's My Ohio, Leon Bibb has the story of a Greater Cleveland man who wanted coffee so much he gave up a position helping develop America's defense industry.
Coffee, the fuel which sets the table. For many, coffee jumpstarts the day. Its origin is from beans in mountainous areas where soil has been nourished by volcanic ash. In 1908, a housewife, fiddling with a sheet of paper, poured coffee through it. Liquid separated from grounds. The first filter was born. From that cup, more coffee poured, including here at an old former Cleveland fire station. Also here begins our story of a missile engineer who stumbled into a pot of coffee while reading about coffee beans.
I started roasting coffee on a hot air popcorn popper in 1999. The coffee turned out to be so good that it just got out of hand.
Jenkins gave up developing U.S. missile firing systems for firing up coffee roasters. Moving to Cleveland, he set up shop in the Ohio City neighborhood former firehouse. He buys coffee beans by the ton, but only after visiting where they're grown.
It's important to travel to origin and meet the farmers to understand how they're growing their coffee.
Jenkins is the grandson of adventurous homesteaders who founded Rising Star, Texas in 1875. In tribute, he named his coffee roasting company Rising Star. It sells to restaurants. Jenkins inherited that pioneering spirit, leaving one career to begin another while searching for coffee bean blends which satisfy American tastes.
We're constantly over-caffeinated because we're tasting coffees all the time.
The old firehouse was once home base for pumper and ladder trucks. Now it is customers who park themselves inside these historic walls, elbowing into a cafe counter spot. Here the coffee pours strong and hot for drinkers intent on finding their own cups of good fortune.
Water temperature, the amount of beans you use, how fine or coarse you grind your beans, it all makes a huge difference.
Down the block wafts the smell of coffee. Someone once said, make a good product and the world will beat a pathway to your doorway. It's true.
Doug just said he's buying me a cup of coffee, and I said, well, of course I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Yeah.
We could smell the coffee roasting, so
It's on him.
That's without a doubt. That's why I'm here.
Coffee is comfortable. It calls people. It has long done that ever since the very, very beginning. The story is an ancient sleepy goat herder in Ethiopia. Notice his goats were sleepy as well, and they began to chew on green Ethiopian wild coffee beans. The goats began to jump around, so the goat herder began to chew on them as well. He became wide awake with a twinkle in his eye, and thus began the first cup of coffee. Kim Jenkins is far from herding goats, but he does corral coffee beans and consumers who belly up to the coffee bar. This is a far gulp from the times he part-time roasted a blend only for a few friends.
And that's what led me to be here today.
A coffee story, but one really of dreams and good fortune, where one's cup runneth over. Kim Jenkins launched a new life, stepping away from military missile systems. Kim Jenkins found a stronger calling. If you don't know that, then you don't know beans. In My Ohio, I'm Leon Bibb.